19 Most Valuable Rare Lladro Figurines, Identification and Value Guide. A year ago, when looking for some old videos of mine in the store, I came across a beautiful sculpture. Upon research, it was a Lladro figurine. Have you ever seen a sculpture in awe of its mesmerizing beauty? Chances are either you are an art admirer, or it was a Lladro doll. A few with a very delicate sense of art and craft possess the appetite for such beautiful figurines. For years, many have tried producing these exquisite pieces of art. However, Lladro porcelain figurines hold a high standing in the industry and, of course, in the hearts of their enthusiasts. For those admirers, I have compiled a guide to help you classify and determine value based on multiple factors. So, let's find out about the legacy the Lladro figurines carry. History of Lladro. The history of these quintessential items and their makers dates to 1953, when three brothers, Juan, José, and Vicente Lladro, started the business of making porcelain ceramic items in Spain. These items included beautiful plates and colorful vases. As beautiful were these porcelain articles, they quickly got adopted by the royalties in the cities. Lladro started its business by selling these introductory articles in the local markets. Once it gained enough recognition for the beautiful work they were producing, it went into the production and business of sale of porcelain figurines, which will be the focus of attention in this article. Moving into this new business, they had to spend some time getting the success they wanted, but excellence found its way into the world, and so did their work. With time their expertise increased, and by 1960, the Lladro brothers had several sculptures under their name tag. The next few decades built a credible portfolio that received immense acknowledgement from local and international markets. Today, they are respected as some of the best artisans, and their sculptures are cherished among aesthetes. Lladro figurines value chart. Art, in whatever form or shape, is itself invaluable. But the value these figurines have for being made by the artisans of Spain is unmatched. Sometimes, the value for the rarest items gets to a point where it sounds unrealistic. However, as it said, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and no amount is unreal if it touches your heart. In this article, I will detail the world's most expensive and valuable Lladro figurines. I have created this list by scrapping data over the internet and going through the databases of antique collectors to bring you authentic details about each of these priceless pieces present in the world. Before we get to the detailed part, here is a chart of all the 19 items with their prices and creators. 1. The Grand Adventure figurine was produced by the sculptors J. Kodrek and D.J. Ruiz in 2002. This sculpture gained recognition immediately as it hit the market. This piece of art is truly unique, and the attention to detail is unmatched. It holds the first position in our list today, quite evident from the above chart. It's the most expensive Lladro art piece ever produced. Only 500 pieces of this 135 centimeters long model were made, and each carries a substantial value. Lesser the pieces made more the value, hence, this can be judged by the price of this sculpture, which is $64,250. This colorful art piece features an antique locomotive and carriage attached to it. Also, 14 people around the locomotive and the carriage are in the art piece. The sculptor of this art piece commemorated the antique steam engine creation. This art piece is handmade with every possible attention to detail, making it an epitome of excellence. 2. Whoever made this marvelous sculpture truly deserves all the praise in the world. This 18th century coach with 4 white royal breed horses in the front leading the carriage is a beauty that will leave you in awe. It was designed by Francisco Catala in 1985 and is one of the most sought-after pieces ever produced by Lladro. Besides being less expensive than a Grand Adventure, there is no other reason for placing it at second. The price at which it was sold is one hefty sum of $57,200. The brilliance of 30 artists' collective effort and 400 hours of pure hard work is worth noting. Just look at the image, and you can imagine how beautiful it must be in real. The well-carved 3 horsemen and the detailed depiction of a couple sitting inside is miraculous. 3. This splendid piece of art is carved by the hands of just one man, Francisco Polo. Imagine the hard work and time put into this incredible sculpture. Countless details can be mentioned here. For example, the beautiful flowers from porcelain, the golden reins of a horse, trees, and that pumpkin carriage from the story are all mesmerizing. Made in 1994, it is, to date, considered one of the best pieces that came out of Lladro's Figurines factory. This specific work of wonder is being sold for a price of $51,210. 4. This limited edition porcelain piece by Marco Antonio is the most recent sculpture on our list. This glossy art piece with floral finishing is very tasteful and has a particular character. The figurine features 3 girls playing their musical instruments depicting an open-air concert of the Romantic era. This is truly remarkable that the bare hands of a human produce a work of such wonder and exquisite detail. As it's a limited edition, only 2,000 pieces were made and sold for $18,800 to their lucky owners. 5. Salvador Furio produced this hunting-themed artwork in 1986. One of the most valuable art pieces Lladro has ever made shows 4 galloping horses running for a hunt along with the hunting dogs. The gesture of hunting brings a unique energy and charm to this sculpture. It is not a surprise when you see that this art piece is worth over $15,000. 6. This handmade art piece with glossy porcelain has a complex design, but it's truly serene and contains all the timeless details of the Romantic era. The flowers and green branches in the background, with 3 women having their evening tea in front of it, realize the theme of life and ambience. All these are just done right, and I'd say José Puig must have given his all to come up with such magnificent work. Carrying a worth of $12,900 in itself, this is undoubtedly one of my favorite Lladro creations. 7. This art piece was produced in 1971 by Juan Huerta. One remarkable thing about this one is that it is among a few precious sculptures built in the 1970s by Lladro. Previously carrying a value of over $7,000, this 22-inch porcelain piece depicts an antique car with 5 people aboard. This was a limited edition art piece, where only 750 pieces are left in the world, making them even more valuable and rare to find. 8. Another artwork on our list is from the era of the 1970s, as it was released in 1974. It depicts one of their favorite themes of Lladro, hunting. Sculpted by Salvador Furio in gloss porcelain, the art piece features 2 horses with their horsemen and 3 hounds all chasing their hunt. This was one of the pieces that are not only valuable today, but even at the time of its release, it cost some heavy bucks to the buyers. The asking price of it was $3,750 back in 1974. Many valuable pieces of Lladro's product line came out in 1970, of which The Hunt is one of those. 9. Francisco Pollock designed this colorful art piece in the year 2000. As a limited edition art piece, all the 2,000 pieces it produced carry a value of $5,947 each. The work done by the sculptor F. Pollock on this is just marvelous. The art portrays a girl sitting among the bouquets of blossoming flowers, a truly gorgeous artwork. 10. This valuable and scarce artwork by the Spanish artist José Javier is a work of wonder and beauty. In this 18.5-inch tall art piece, you can see a dancing woman adorned in a shiny white dress. Each item of this particular sculpture is worth $5,600, and there are only 250 in the world. So, this is not only valuable but highly exclusive. 11. This creation of José Puig is a beautiful representation of bringing to one's life. Depicting a cart full of blossomed flowers with a small girl looking over them portrays a happy and peaceful time of life. Produced in 1983, this art piece was brought to life by many artisans, all having expertise in crafting beautiful flowers out of porcelain. This work of wonder comes for $3,700. 12. The Conquered by the Love of Antonio Ramos comes from Lladro's top-of-the-line figurines collection called the Don Quixote. Produced in 1994, this art piece depicts a man holding his lover's hand on his knees. Finished in gloss, this art piece portrays the love between a man and a woman, and by the name, it shows how one must conquer love. This artwork was retired 10 years after it was first released, and today it holds a value of $3,000. 13. This is another artwork of Antonio Ramos that Lladro released in 1989. One of the most sought-after and valuable pieces, this art piece portrays the love between children and puppies. There are 4 children and 3 pups, all crafted in gloss porcelain. This art piece comes for $1,600. 14. Little Pals is an extremely rare and collectible Lladro art piece. Produced by Juan Huerta in 1985, this art line was only sold for a year, making it exclusive and rare today. This strange art piece depicts a clown carrying 2 puppies in his pockets. Glazed in porcelain, this sculpture's value varies between $500 to $900. 15. Any artwork that tells a story or is relatable to humans becomes more valuable. That's the case with this otherwise straightforward art piece showing a man lighting an old streetlight. Produced by Salvador Furio in 1984, you can get one of these precisely for $648 if you can find one. 16. Checking the Time is another sculpture that came out of the hands of Salvador Furio in 1991. Currently costing $490 per piece, this art piece portrays many things. For one, any art piece with a clown becomes a mystery. Hence, what this artwork truly depicts, we cannot know for sure, but what it shows is a clown checking the time on the clock. 17. This small art piece, only 9 inches, is an artwork of Juan Huerta, who crafted it in 1986. You can get one of these at a price ranging from $100 to $500 depending on the condition of the art piece, because these are retired art pieces that you will have you buy in second-hand or auction markets. Though not a very expensive artwork, it still is fascinating. It depicts a small boy clown wearing oversized clothes. Such an art piece makes me wonder what was in the artist's mind while he designed it. 18. This sculpture from Fulgencio Garcia is a part of one of the most valuable artwork lines released by Lladro in the 1970s. Unlike the several I have mentioned, this artwork features glazing of matte porcelain with realistic human skin tones. The 4 children in this art are shown playing their instruments. You can get one for $370 if you can get your hands on one. 19. This art piece shows a magical creature, a white unicorn crafted in glossy porcelain by Joan Koderch. Lladro produced a total of 2,000 art pieces, and you can get one for $305. 5. Though they are not very expensive if you can find one, that's what makes them valuable. They are hard to find, and as they were not produced in bulk, it is a hefty task to get a hold of these beautiful creations. Determining the value and pricing of Lladro figurines. Any artwork produced in the world carries some value. Monetary value is one thing one must pay to get hands on one and is one way of showing respect towards its creator. Then there is sentimental, emotional, and exclusivity value that varies with the artwork. Even the artwork produced under one roof cannot have the same value, as mentioned in the list above. There is an art piece, Lladro, for over $60,000, and others, still valued but under $1,000. This begs the question, how can one identify if they are paying the right price for it? So, here we will provide you with a guide to judge the value of the Lladro figurine before you pay the price. Lladro figurine size. Regarding Lladro, figurines and their sculptures are primarily valued and spontaneously priced based on the size of the figures. Smaller ones, even those today on sale, are cheap, and you can quickly get one under $100, then the mid-sized range, and finally the big ones that can cost you thousands of dollars. Now, you can check prices on Lladro's official website if you are in the retail market. Still, if you are not buying a new one but instead like to get a collectible, there are ways you can implement to check the values and ensure that you are paying the right price. Condition of artwork. This is not a problem when you are in the figurines market to get a new one. Still, when it comes to buying something from the antique or collectible markets, you must ensure that you are getting the right thing for yourself. Art pieces are a wonder, and if any piece gets damaged. However, there are ways to restore the items. If they are not broken, then the originality is not there anymore. That's why ensure that art pieces are not damaged, especially in the corners, and the glazing is intact. Plus, it is easy to trace cracks and deep scratches, mainly as Lladro's figurines are mostly glazed with glossy porcelain. If the art piece is in pristine condition, the prices can go high. Still, if you are getting a damaged one to ensure that you possess some antique art piece, you can surely bargain with the seller. Fragile and delicate figurines. One thing about artwork is worth mentioning here: the more delicate and fragile the artwork, the more bucks are going off your pocket. The same is the case with Lladro's art pieces. If a sculpture is delicate and prone to breakage, and you seek a piece in immaculate condition, it must be expensive. The delicacy of the artwork shows the passion and creativity of the craftsmanship. It shows that even after maintaining the delicacy, the artist has made beautiful artwork for the world to admire. For example, an entirely handmade artifact will cost you much more than a regular one, as a handmade one has a particular element of delicacy and prestige that a digital artwork lacks. Hence, this element is crucial in determining the value and price of a figurine. The rarity of a piece. As the figures get rare, the more expensive they get, either because they were produced less or are left in the world in limited quantities. So, keep in mind that if the figurine is very rare and exclusive to find, its value will go up, raising the cost you will have to pay. That's all for the guide. Remember the points discussed above, and you'll be good to go. Identification of original artifacts. One point that I wanted to discuss separately is the identification of the artwork and its authenticity. When you plan to pay considerable sums for an antique piece of art, the least you expect it to be is a fake artifact. You can identify a fake from an original by checking the logo and marking. For your convenience, I have made a catalog of logos and markings for you to check before buying up your buying game as a collector. You can identify the product based on its year of release and the corresponding mark. Final thoughts. There is no doubt about the prestige and stature that figurines of Lladro have. Both new and antique ones carry a legacy of this Spanish art brand that no one can deny. If you are interested in buying a new one, visit their official website to get what you need. However, if you are looking for an antique piece in an auction or on a website, maybe one of the 19 mentioned, make sure you are getting the right one. There are many out there producing A+ copies that imitate original ones. We don't want you to get scammed. So, before buying an art piece, be careful and use this guide to judge the value and check for originality. Pro tip: if you get an item from Lladro, never lose its box packing. It will help you if you ever want to sell it.